In unit number 18 on page 390, we go into federal laws and regulations for group health insurance. The state will ask you multiple questions on this page. I believe they could ask you at least 6 questions here. You could lose your state exam by not knowing this page. Why? We are dealing with federal laws and they expect you to know this information. On page 390 at the top, highlight the title of HEPA, highlight Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, and highlight all of number 1. It says, the state insurance exam content outline may still show HEPA as an exam topic. It is important for students to know HEPA for the exam, but it is also important to understand that current federal laws due to the Affordable Care Act changed the pre-existing condition portion of HEPA. AC8 was discussed back in unit number 12. Number 2, highlight this. HEPA took effect on July 1st of 1997, and it ensured, underline, highlight, portability of group insurance. That's your key track word, the portability of group insurance coverage, and included various mandated benefits that affected the small employers and the self-employed, pregnant women, and the mentally ill. Number 3, highlight, pre-existing condition. The state will ask you multiple questions about pre-existing conditions. Remember, what I teach you for this course and what you need to know for your state exam could be different than what we do in the real world. Under number 3, pre-existing conditions, let's read. A group health plan may not be defined a pre-existing condition more restrictively than a condition in which medical advice, diagnosis, care, or treatment was recommended or received during, highlight, underline, the 6 months prior to the enrollment date in the plan. A as in Adam. Highlight, a pre-existing condition can be excluded for up to 12 months. Underline 12 months. That's another state exam question and answer. Now, let's go down to number 5. We go into mandated benefits. Highlight the first whole sentence. This has been on every state exam I've taken. Highlight. HEPA guarantees coverage for a 48-hour hospital stay for new mothers. Underline 48-hour stay. For new mothers and their babies after a regular delivery, highlight, underline, 96 hours for cesarean section birth. That could be a second state exam question here. Go down to number 6 on privacy disclosure. Highlight all of this. Privacy disclosure. HEPA imposes specific requirements on health care providers, insurers, and producers. Because they just called you and I out as producers, the state will ask you a question here. And producers with respect to the privacy of the insured's health and medical information, the applicant must be given the notice of the following: the insurer's privacy practices, the applicant's right to maintain privacy, and the applicant's opportunity to opt out. The last sentence on page 390 is a state exam question I've seen on every exam I've taken. Highlight. The producer must provide the applicant with, underline, the notice of insurance information's practices, put an asterisk here. Page 391, we go back into the Employee Retirement Income Security Act, known as ERISA. Again, we've seen this multiple times. The state will ask you questions here. Highlight that first sentence. ERISA was enacted to protect the interest of participants in employee benefit plans as well as the interest of the participants' beneficiaries. Much of the law deals with qualified pension plans, but some sections also apply to group insurance. So because of group insurance, and that's the subject we're in, the state will ask you questions here. Remember, ERISA is a federal law. Highlight fiduciary responsibility, and it says ERISA mandates. And again, because of this language, we know we have state exam questions here. ERISA mandates very detailed standards for fiduciaries and other parties in interest of employee welfare benefit plans, including group insurance plans. This means that anyone with control over the plan management or plan assets of any kind must discharge that fiduciary duty solely in the interest of the plan participants and their beneficiaries. Strict penalties are imposed upon those who do not fulfill this responsibility. Highlight everything in this next paragraph. The state is probably going to ask you multiple times on your state exam about the reporting and disclosure. put an asterisk here. You must know this. Reporting and disclosure. ERISA requires that certain information concerning any employee welfare benefit plan, including group insurance plans, be made available to the plan participants, their beneficiaries, the Department of Labor, and the IRS. Highlight all of these bullets. These are all possible state exam questions. Highlight a summary plan description to each plan participant and the Department of Labor. A summary of material modifications that detail changes in any plan description and to each plan participant and the Department of Labor. An annual return or report form on 5500, one of its variations, submitted to the IRS. A summary annual report to each plan participant and any terminal report to the IRS. If the state takes you deep in the weeds on ERISA, they're going to hammer you about those bullets.